What's good, superstars? Back with another Veve video. You got Superstar Joe, you got Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going?
Pretty good. You?
Not bad, not bad. Guys, if you're new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification, you know, whenever we post about your favorite project. You can also become a superstar VIP. $2.99 a month. Hit the join button under the video. Get one of these stars next to your name. Level up through the stars. More entries into the giveaways every single month. Follow us on X. Follow us on Instagram. Stay up to date with anything that we're posting. But also join the Discord. You can talk to us. You can talk to the rest of the superstars in the Superstar Money Discord. We've got projects all over the space in there. We got a channel for everything, and lots of people intermingling between projects, learning about new things. We like to feel like that Discord helps to grow some of these projects by itself. A lot of fun there, and people are loving it.
Yeah, and guys, the Discord is where we run all our giveaways. Again, we try reaching out to people. If we can't get a hold of you, we cannot hold the prize forever. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. So make sure you get in the Discord so we can reach out to you. Jambert was in the Discord. It took a few days still to get a hold of him, but finally he won his London Police Veve giveaway. We don't know yet what the London Police are going to transfer him, but yeah. And speaking of giveaways, Joe, I don't want if you want to spread the good news right now.
Okay, so we had this giveaway with the Gold Dragon Club. Very, very prominent giveaway. I mean, very generous by them. $7,000 approximate value of this accommodation at Walt Disney World's Old Key West. We spun the wheel 3 times, and we needed all 3 spins because first winner, Art Heart, unable to make it due to personal reasons. Second winner, Johnny Quest. We've been reaching out to you for over a week. We gave you a deadline for today's video. If we didn't hear from you, we're moving on to the third winner who has accepted at this point. Shout out to Video Shane. He went in and he was actually one of the floor sweepers of the Gold Dragon. So he went to work for this. And couldn't be happier. I know that he also makes some great content. So hopefully we get to see some of that stuff on either X or maybe a YouTube channel that he has, all that stuff. So Video Shane, shout out to you. You are now the official winner of the Gold Dragon Club's 7-night stay at Disney's Old Key West, August 9th to August 16th. I know that you and Turtle have already talked about it. We knew that this would be the time where if we didn't hear back from Johnny Quest, it would be going to you. So shout out to you. Excited to see any type of content that you create from this. And this just proves like what utility could be. And it's going to be amazing to see you go on that journey. So excited for you.
Well, he's not Video Shane for no reason. He loves making videos. So who knows what kind of amazing footage we're going to get now. And maybe it was meant to be for him to go. Johnny Quest, I'm sorry. We did our best to reach out to you. You were the runner-up, but we just can't hold it. So Video Shane is now going to be receiving the prize. He's accepted it. We're very happy for him. He helps out all the time, all over the community. Comes in the Superstar chat all the time, giving nothing but positive vibes. And, you know, he does his work around the space. So, I mean, thank you, Video Shane, for your support. You supported the Gold Dragon Club. You support us. And glad to see you being able to enjoy this.
Yep, can't wait to see what the Gold Dragon Club comes up with next. They're always innovating in the space. They are basically leading the way when it comes to utility for collectibles on Veve, and very excited to be friends with Turtle Golf and Squid Cat, Mike Cat 4 over there. So excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, now speaking of NFT, Joe, all right, we got to get into a very serious topic. We've touched on this before on the channel, but Danny Boy, and he's been on the channel before, and we know that he has a history with direct connections with Dan and David Yu. He did a deal where, I mean, if I remember the money specifically, I can't remember the exact dollar amount, but it was a large sum of money, and he did essentially a direct purchase from Veve and didn't do it directly through the marketplace. And at that time, a lot of people who were on Veve didn't like that. But to be fair, the owners of the company made the deal. So, I mean, Danny Boy was treated like the guy that, you know, was the problem, but the owners allowed it at the end of the day. So they made their deal. So something's happened over time, though. We don't know exactly what was said in that deal. But Danny Boy's looking for information. He says, to influencers preaching otherwise, check the law in your local area. To investors, reach out if this concerns you. Could be time to secure our property with licensors direct, Disney and DC. Stay tuned, folks. Truth may hurt, but time to wake up. So this, in a way, to me, sounds like fighting words, right? Like he's trying to say something that we've heard about in the past, which is that if Veve will not give them self-custody, then circumvent them and go right to the licensors, because ultimately the licensors are responsible. It's their IP. And he brings up here the terms of services of Veve, which has changed over time. And it says he's underlined neither collectibles nor gems or financial products. Users are not entitled to any financial benefits or payments from Veve by using Veve services or by purchasing gems that are collectible. The price of collectible is not determined by the value of any underlying asset. Included in the schedule are screenshots of Veve's website. So, I mean, I don't know what, like, you know, he's underlying these things. He's not being extremely direct about exactly what he's trying to say, but I interpret this as him trying to say, well, really everyone buying Veve collectibles, and not necessarily Veve collectibles, but potentially many NFTs around the space, they're doing it because they're doing it for investment reasons. They're not doing it to simply play a game. They're not doing it because of the utility it may offer for, let's say, for example, in this case, AR function. They're doing it because they believe that by having the custodial token owned in their name based on their Veve account, right? It's not going to be in their wallet. It's going to be based on their Veve account. They believe that they will be able to make money in the future. And this begs the question, are the prices of these really determined by an underlying asset? Is there going to be more to the story than Veve wants you to know in this statement? And I think Veve, they're doing what's right in terms of their interests. But Danny Boy, who maybe invested a ton of money in buying these things, expecting a return, he's starting to question, and it looks like he's kind of going around asking for information. So I'll let you jump in here, Joe.
Yeah, I think it's really the whole underlying thing here is what can you do on the platform? You can put money in, this thing could go up in value, you could sell it for more money, and then take that money out, all within the platform. And when you look at the rest of the space, the same could be said for any exchange where you're pulling out crypto, like you're putting money into that crypto. That's why you're KYC'd. You're KYC'd so that you can go to the tax man after the day. At the end of the day, if you make a lot of money on crypto and you can pay your dues, like that's the whole point of why the KYC exists, why there's laws in New York that are different from laws that are in Hawaii, that are different from laws in California. There's all these different laws around it. But I mean, and then people go back to the, well, I'm not buying an NFT, or I'm not buying a stock, I'm buying a collectible. In the real world, even if you buy a collectible for $500 and it appreciates to 200,000 and you sell it for 200,000, you still made capital gains on an item, on something. So like that's still something that is liable to be taxed. So I think that's where Danny Boy is going with this. And he's saying, like, even though you say in your terms and services that there's no financial backing to this, it doesn't defeat the purpose of what it actually is. It's a vehicle for appreciation of value. And if that does happen and you're providing the marketplace for people to get out, you have the KYC, all of that stuff. People have to be under, like, he wants people to be aware. And he feels like this, I think what he's saying here is he feels like this piece in the terms and services is not clear enough, and it's not providing clarity to the community that they should really be aware. Say you bought a Secretware or whatever, you got a Secretware Miles Morales and you paid 50 gems on the drop, and now you're selling it for 8,000, and then you cash that 8,000 out. He's like, be careful. Like, you should really look into reporting your taxes properly, even though term number 6 says that you don't need to because not financial asset and all this stuff. I think when it comes to anything, you got to do your own research. You got to talk to your own tax people. You got to talk to your own financial people, wherever you live, the rules, all that stuff. It depends. But the way I'm looking at it, and with any of these projects, I mean, some projects, they don't cash out through the app. You have to go to exchange if you want to cash out your USDC. So how much did you put in? Then how much did you end up taking out? If it's a plus, then you got to figure it out with your financial advisor, with your tax guys, and how much you're going to be paying. I think it's really, really, you're doing yourself a disservice by not at least looking into the laws there, because you never know. Like, you might be doing something illegal.
Well, remember that Veve definitely wants to de-risk their liability when it comes to the control over the collectibles. They don't want to have a Dapper situation, right? We saw with the Dapper settlement, and it is a settlement, didn't actually go to the court of law. But I still see this as a potential, case that I think everyone else in the space is going to look at, since Dapper are the guys who did invent the word NFT. And NFTs, we know, are not, they're like collectibles, right? They are like collectibles. But Dapper in that case was accused of having too much power and control over the asset. And the people who bought into them thinking that they, as the custodians of that asset, were going to provide the ability to grow it. right? They were not going to try to suppress the valuation of it. And I think an argument can be made here if you somebody who's an investor at heart, which I know is the majority of people who enter the Veve app. Right, the question could be asked here is that does Veve have too much control of this stuff, and as a result, were people expecting Veve to find ways to produce a return for them, and they kind of treated it like, and it's not, but they're kind of treating it like, because I'm buying NFTs for the Veve platform, all of a sudden they thought they were almost shareholders. And they a lot of people will defend the company as if they're part owners, and they're almost like that by buying these NFTs it's like they bought shares, but ultimately NFTs are not that. So I think that there's a fine line here when it comes to the financial aspect of this. There's definitely a financial aspect to the NFT space, including Veve. The question is Veve complete? Have they done this in a way that's completely de-risked themselves from any kind of liability on that side? And I think you brought up a great point there, Joe, which is that if you do make money in general, even on any collectible, there is tax implications that will come from that. So should you be clear in your terms of services? Should Veve be telling people clearly that these are not financial products, but you should be paying taxes on them? And maybe there's a little bit of that contradiction that is very confusing. But he's going around asking a lot of people to reach out to him, talk to him. There's been a lot of things promised. People bought things. People were, for example, in the Omi side too. It doesn't stop just at Veve. They bought things with certain expectations, and things might have changed over time. Is that okay? So there's a lot of questions that still need to be answered. And Danny Boy's been going hard on this, man.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, even you're right. That Omi is an entirely different thing. It's an entirely different avenue with crypto and how that's that whole thing. Right now, you can't buy and cash out Omi through the Veve app. So I think in that regard, maybe they're a little bit more transparent when it comes to how people have to do it, because you buy through whatever exchange, you sell through whatever exchange, and then it's up to you to go and report your net gains and losses. Yeah, I mean, these things, as far as I see them so far, it's like they're assets for sure. I don't care what terms and services say. It's an asset. If I can buy it, I can sell it. It's an asset. People say that's what the type of ownership that they want. There's a lot of people going around the space parading that they don't need self-custody. They don't need a token in their wallet. Fine. You don't need the token in your wallet. But if you're buying something and you sell it for 100x, and you think that you're off scot-free, I think that's where Danny Boy is coming. And Danny Boy, if you're watching, feel free to reach out and let me know if we're on par with what you're thinking, or if you're more on par with, like Rob was saying. Some people think that these things are like shares, like stocks, and if you buy and sell them in the platform and you never cash out, that you're still liable for those taxes. I'm a little indifferent on that feeling. I think that there's that's something that has really big gray area, because they're not a financial institution. They don't have that type of intricacies. But at the same time, I do, and especially if they are advertising as a collector's app and a collectible platform, IRL collectibles, same type of deal. You make money on something, you got to report it. So I think that's where he's going with this. And I think he's right. I think there should be a little bit more clarity that people should be responsible for their own like they have to know. And Veve should have that somewhere in there. Like, make sure that you report whatever you need to be legally abiding by wherever you live, et cetera, et cetera. And I guess it goes by whatever dollars you're spending in. Here we're buying in Canadian dollars. It comes off our credit cards, Canadian, and then you sell it to Canadian whatever. And it's depending on where you are, what even states in the U.S., they're all different. So I think it'd be, yeah, you have to make sure you're following whatever laws are wherever you live.
If you look at this he keeps going, right? So people are questioning him, and I think he's revealing a little bit more of what he's thinking about the whole licensed IP aspect of it. And he's saying, first, go to owners of IP and let them know what's going on and see if they're okay with it. There's a big IP, don't usually deal with small business. Veve is the least important part of ownership. And the reason why he's saying this is because if you look at his next section, it says Disney has the IP. They own the IP. We own the NFTs. This is what he's saying. Now, I'm pretty sure the terms don't say you own the NFT direct. I think it's basically saying you own the token as far as their platform allows it. So I don't think you can ever truly own that token unless you can get that token in your wallet. And even a ghost token, for example, is still not owning that exact token. ultimately Vive's offering the utility. But a lot of people on Veve are very interested in, FA. They're very interested in on first token on the blockchain that was ever correlated to a metadata of this specific character. So the token all of a sudden now has a lot more value because it was associated at some point in history to the first time ever that metadata of that character was officially approved and licensed by Disney. Now, we have our opinions on that, Joe, which we've talked about a lot about, is that really going to matter long term? But we know a lot of people in this app and who are on Veve right now, they do have faith that that will one day give them price appreciation on their tokens and that they will be able to make a financial gain on that. So he says at Walmart want to control our property. And I think he's just trying to say is that Veve may not be needed to get that stuff. He's trying to say if you go to the IP, you tell them, he says right here, let them know what's going on. He's kind of vague about what's going on and what he's getting at. I can only speculate and see if he can get the IP to get back what they own to almost give it to the people. So this is, I think, what he's getting at here. I don't know if I'll ever see anything come to fruition on this, but I think Danny Boy is looking into this very seriously. And, with the kind of money that he's already put into the app, I think he's like, he probably has a lot of interest. He has a very high vested interest based on the deals that he did with them back in the day off the marketplace. So I think it's pretty interesting.
I know he was getting a hard time on this one, I think. And I think this is kind of a different topic over almost. It's he's talking more about ownership in this one here. And people were saying like, well, when you bought, you knew what you were buying from the beginning. It was clear that they were going to hold the token and this and that. So it's a little bit of a different topic altogether compared to taxing and all of this stuff. But it's becoming something, and I don't know if it's because we're seeing other platforms starting to have self-custody that's becoming more important to people who are now on Veve and wanting to see it happen more often. But it's Danny Boy came back out of nowhere. He's been gone for like over a year in terms of social media. There's got to be a reason.
Well, he's asking a lot of questions, and I think he's just trying to get people to think. I don't think he's fully revealed his hand yet at exactly what he plans on doing. But look at this post here, 26 minutes ago, fresh. What are people buying? What is being sold to them? What has been advertised, described, promoted? What are the legal obligations of ownership? What is the legal definition of gem and legal value of gem? And he's asking a lot of these questions. And to be fair, it's very hard to argue that these are not financial assets in some kind because of the way people have been buying them. The behaviors of all the customers has always had an element of buying these things for investment reasons. And Veve, a long time ago, back in 2022, did a massive change in their marketing and in their tagline, collectors at heart, I think to kind of counter that, because they know it's going to enter them into a regulatory gray area that may cause some trouble and stir up some trouble in the future. So I think Danny Boy is starting to allude to these things, right? What are people buying? What has been said in the past? What was sold to them? The dream, right? The dream of what these things can be. And then people will have to go back and actually look at real evidence and say, okay, what did Veve actually say? And what did Veve actually do? I think Veve's, I think as a company, they've grown a lot. I think they've definitely learned as the years gone on in terms of how to manage this financial side of it. But I don't think it's anywhere clear cut that this is a done deal. And if someone like Danny Boy wants to start pushing on this, it could be interesting. I mean, it's not impossible. Look at Dapper, right? You've had a group of people do actually take real legal action. And I'm not saying Danny Boy is going to do that. I don't know what his intent is. I'm just reading his X posts, and I just see him asking a lot of questions and talking a lot about legalities. And maybe he's just trying to get his message heard. But yeah, like we'll continue to watch it because this could evolve into something different.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Joe, if you have anything else to add there.
No, I mean, there's a lot of verbiage as well in the terms of services about any type of legal action against Veve. So I don't know how that will hold up, but anyway,
which he screenshotted, which he posted. Yeah, he posted. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, let us know in the comments below. What do you guys think about Danny Boy's tweets here? He's asking all these questions. What do you guys think about gems, legal value gem, legal value of NFTs, obligations of ownership? What do you guys think about the whole terms of services, saying that these are not determined by the value of underlying asset. They're not financial products. The whole taxation, we talked about a lot this video and things. And be honest, guys, like we are not lawyers. Like we do not live in that world. These are just our opinions, fresh from what we're interpreting and what we read. But if you are a lawyer, you can let us know in the comments below your thoughts on these things, and you can let me know if you're not a lawyer, you can still let us know your thoughts on these and your interpretation. Yeah, maybe if you're a tax guy would be. If we got any accountants here, you guys can let us know too what you guys think. So guys, if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the super fan, hit the bell notification to get every single video every single day. Also do our VIPs 200 a month, start with your name, access spreadsheets, give it guys. Thank you so much. Take care. See you next one. Bye bye.
Love you. Bye.